Hey everyone, today I want to talk to you about the importance of flowcharts when you're systemizing parts or all of your business. So it's a lovely Wednesday morning. It's quite fresh, but warm enough to wear a vest, obviously. And it's, as always, Wednesdays are all things business systems and outsourcing. So as you're all aware, I think I spent 3 years as a co-owner of systems and outsourcing, coaching clients in how to systemize and outsource their businesses. So I've got a lot of experience in this, and having run my property portfolio, my big 96 property portfolio that I used to do 60, 70-hour weeks in it. I can now run that in half an hour a week. So through the systems and processes I put in place. So something that's I'm very, very passionate about. Something that a lot of people hate, but they understand the importance, but they hate doing it. So and today is a biggie. We're talking about flowcharts. So why are flowcharts important? Well, flowcharts or process maps, whatever you want to call them, there's blueprints, there's lots of different kind of terms for this. But I think where people get caught up with systems outsourcing is they think that, that the process or system will generally be in the head. And it's how you extract that into a tangible format so that you can pass it over to somebody else to run or to improve. Now, I talked about the importance of video all the time. It's so important as a tool for outsourcing work. People say, if you write something, it'll be misunderstood. People say a picture says 1,000 words, but a video says 1,000,000. So you can get so much more clarity. It's so much easier for someone to copy a video when it comes to doing some work or understanding a video when you're explaining or showing them what you want to do. But that's okay for individual tasks. When you come into more complex processes where you're trying to develop a process or you're trying to improve on something or fix something, doing that in a linear format, whether it's in a list of actions or it's very, very difficult. Whereas if you map something out in a flowchart process map format, then it's becomes visually so easier to understand. And you can start putting little icons and things on your flowcharts that this one's outstanding or warning, exclamation mark for a warning sign, a tick if it's done, across if it hasn't been done or something. Just something that makes it visual and easy to understand. So you can make something very, very complicated appear easily understood. Now, it's not just about flowcharts, because flowcharts and process maps can be used in multiple different ways. And you've probably heard me talk about this in the past, BPMN 2.0. That stands for Business Process Mapping and Notation. I think my memory serves me correctly. So the 2.0 is version 2.0. The reason that's important, that's the kind of standardized method for mapping out process maps, business processes in flowchart format. And why is it important? Well, if you're going to sell your business, as we all know, a business, I don't think it's a business unless it has the ability to operate as an independent entity. So it's no longer reliant on you who created the business. If it is you, it's still reliant on you, and you can't go away on holiday without having ramifications of your business, then it's not a business. You're self-employed. And I think that's a mindset that people need to tackle themselves and overcome themselves to really understand that most people think they've got a business, they haven't. I mean, I talk about the journey of a serial entrepreneur, and I only have one business. I might have 4 that I'm working on at the moment in terms of, I don't classify them as businesses yet because they're relying on me at the moment or other key personnel. Until I can extract myself away from the day-to-day stuff. And to be fair, I'm not really doing any day-to-day stuff. I'm setting up systems and processes in most of the new opportunities I'm pursuing. But they will become a business when they will run without me profitably. So that's something kind of mindset for people to overcome. So back to the flowchart side of things. It's really, really important you understand business process mapping and notation version 2.0, pure and simply because if you're going to sell your business and you give all the process and systems to the business, BPMN 2.0 is universally understood in business language. So you can hand over your systems and processes and people will understand what they are. You can create the most amazing, beautiful looking flowcharts, process maps that you might understand at the back of your hand. If nobody else understands them other than you and your team, if you come to sell them, you'd have to then recreate those systems and processes in a different format to be able for somebody else to understand them. So it is good practice to try and do things in a standardized format. So if you haven't understood this, just drop me a line and I can help you on BPN 2.0. It's not a sale or anything, it's all free value that I can help you with. But if you just type into YouTube, there's loads and loads of tuition on how to use it, and you only need to understand it in a simplified version, because I often think the simplest flowcharts and process maps are the most effective because they're less likely to be misunderstood. So what software do we use for this? Well, I think the best one out there, in my opinion, is Lucidchart. And huge amounts of capability with it. You can do loads and loads of cool things. However, it gets quite pricey. So you can use it for free. You get free flowcharts, but you can only get kind of 60 actions on each flowchart. So symbol, connector, text, whatever. It all classifies as an action on your flowchart. Any more than 60, and that you're capped for each one. You can do that times 3 before you're then restricted. You have to delete one before you can work on another, which is no good. So you need something with a much larger storage capacity. So the last thing you want to do is create a process map, and then just because you're moving on to your fourth one, you have to delete the first one. So it's counterproductive. So if you're prepared to pay for it, Lucidchart is the best. It's not that cheap either. For a single license, it's pretty cheap. I think it's like 15 quid a month or something like that. But it soon ramps up if you're getting multiple users doing things and having permission structures. You can do all this. So it's really, really cool, comprehensive software. But it can get quite pricey if you're rolling it out to a big team. You don't want them all having access to everything. So my recommendation is we talk about the importance of getting your security and access right in business when you start looking at outsourcing. And one of the key apps that you need is G Suite for your cloud storage, so ownership of IP and all business apps that you can kind of use. In Google Slides, you can do the basic stuff in Google Slides that you would use Lucidchart for. It's free. You can store it in all your shared drives, and you've got unlimited numbers you can use. It's not quite as user fresh and easy as Lucidchart, and you're limited to a slide in size. So you sometimes will need to run onto multiple pages for a flowchart. But they're more little minor annoyances than anything. But if it's saving you 50, 60 quid a month, then it's worth doing, in my opinion. And it's like I say, there's a few little annoyances with it, but it's a free alternative to Lucidchart. And for the basic stuff that I use it for, I haven't found many things that you can't. I mean, one of the key things you need with a flowchart is the ability to link something to each stage of the process. So some people link videos, so if they're how you do this part of the process, or link it to Asana tasks or your task management structure, where your task template is. And you can obviously do that in Google Slides as well. So, and you can format it and stuff. So it's pretty. You can make it look pretty visually nice as well in Google Slides. So that's what I use, because I've used Lucidcharts, intimately in systems and outsourcing, and like I say, I think it's an amazing piece of software. However, it can be quite pricey. So my recommendation as a free alternative is Google Slides. What you can do is really, I think the key is as well, is when you're using process maps, is when to use them and when not to use them. If you have to ask yourself the question, do you really need a process map to show it? Because sometimes that's an over-engineered step. Okay, if it's a very simple process, then I don't think there's much value in creating a process map, unless you're selling a business and you want to have everything process mapped before you're selling it. But if it's something really, really simple that you can get by with just assigning a task with video, or then I don't see the need of using a process map. Process maps are great for improving processes, for building ones out, and when they're multi-step processes, that's when you should use process maps. A prime example is, one of the best ways that I use process maps is when I'm building out a new marketing funnel. Okay, marketing funnels are notoriously complicated. you need to retarget people at every stage. You know, there's so many different things that you use, or different social channels, different communication methods, that I know what my marketing funnels are in my head pretty clearly. But I actually have to think pretty hard when I'm earphones just coming out. When I have to put it into a process map format, I have to think quite hard and all of the different things, and I'll end up, you know, missing things in my mind. But when I put it on a process map, I'll improve the marketing funnel and add different new retargeting hacks and things like this, which are really important. There are separate marketing funnel software you can use, which acts as simulators as well, so you can actually run some data through it and look at scenario analysis for break-even points and stuff as well. And I will talk about those in the future, but there'll be more marketing specific episodes. But again, Google Slides for an absolute novice, you can kind of map all this stuff out. Other things you can do is like bigger, chunkier processes in your business, like, I don't know, accounts payable. So you can map out the whole process. What happens when you're due to pay something? You know, how do your invoices arrive to you? You know, how do they come in? The different ways they come in. How they're picked up? Who processes them? What are the rules that people use? This is where process mapping comes into its own. And then, if the person who's doing that moves on, and you've got the videos and everything for each stage, you can pass that whole process on to somebody else, and the disruption to your business is minimal because somebody else can pick it up because the process is there, the tuition, video instruction is with it, and it just makes your business reliant on processes and systems as opposed to people, which is the E-Myth way, which is something that I strongly support. So, you know, your business should be based upon robust systems and processes, not exceptional people. If you bring exceptional people into the mix as well, they will improve your robust systems and processes and potentially take your business to the next level. So exceptional people are also vitally important, and I think that's where the E-Myth falls flat, in that it talks about, you know, the McDonald's model where you can bring in, without any disrespect to people that work at McDonald's, but, you know, his argument is you can bring anybody in and they'll deliver the same standard because the process and systems are so robust in McDonald's. So his argument was you don't need exceptional people, whereas I disagree. If you want to grow and scale a business, surrounding yourself with great people is a key fundamental to that. But anyway, who am I to disagree with Michael Gerber? But so back to the flowcharts. Really, understand the importance of this. And you know what? It does become quite addictive when you start playing around with them, because the clarity you get, you know, you're getting overwhelmed. Okay, so here's another way of using a flowchart. You can use it for creativity. You get overwhelmed. You can use mind maps and things you can use in flowchart software as well. And but an easy thing to do is just think, well, I'm overwhelmed with everything I'm doing. So you should very easily just map out why you're overwhelmed, what's hitting you, which is causing you so much anxiety, stress, overwhelm. All the things that are hitting you, that are coming to you every day, that's causing it. Put them there, and then start at the top and just map out how you can pass that stuff over that other people to deal with, and take yourself out of that equation. Take yourself out of that equation, the anxiety, stress, overwhelm that comes with it goes with it. So it's one of the best ways that I find problem solving an issue. I mean, we've had some changes in the property business this week, and one of the key things is that the person who's currently dealing with all the inbound tenant communication hates that role, doesn't want to do it anymore. Now, I've recruited somebody else to come in and take it on, but we realised that the systems and processes had evolved so much when I originally set them up that they were almost obsolete, and there was too much IP in the person who's currently doing the role. So I spent a few hours with that individual, process mapping out, and I identified some ways that I can actually take out incoming calls from the process altogether. And we do that by having a form which links into our task management software for like a help desk service, which brings in tenant issues when they want to report something in. There's also a text messaging service we've set up that was also automated and linked to my task management software, which enables any of the tenants to text their communication in, and again it drops into the same help desk project, which is then managed and progressed every single day, so nothing slips through the radar. So we've also taken out the need. Now we do have a number, and we use that number to call out Because the problem is that often, you know, you can have tenants that can occasionally be irate, and I don't want to put my team in the firing line. Whereas in actual fact, when they think and they write something down, we can progress things and get things done a lot quicker. So we can try it. We might have to bring in an inbound call facility again in the near future. But for the time being, we can leave that. So, but the key is I've mapped out this process and I've taken out loads of clunky old parts of the process, and I've created a pretty streamlined version. And really excited to be rolling it out next week. So again, anybody wants some ideas and some advice on that, just drop me a message. Happy to help out where I can. Like I say, it's all about value. There's no sell here. So hope you found this useful. So to summarise, you know, flowcharts are vitally important in the systemization and outsourcing process of your business. The key question is, you don't need a process map for every single thing you do, just for the stuff that's multi-step or more complicated. Or you can use it for problem solving, you can use it for creativity or mind mapping as well. But sometimes visually is the way to get those creative juices flowing, which is really, really important. You don't need to use flowchart, although I do recommend it as the best piece of software for process mapping. I mean, I'm sure there's others that will recommend others, but this is my limited experience in using flowchart. I think it's a fantastic piece of software. But my recommendation is to use Google Slides because it's cheap, it's free, and you get unlimited number of process maps. And for a lot of people, you'll be able to get most of your processes on a single slide. So the size of having to go across multiple pages shouldn't be a major issue for a lot of you. So really important. So hopefully you found this useful, but it will allow you to kind of get some of the more complex procedures and processes in your business out of your mind into a tangible format, and you'll be able to outsource entire departments to your team. And this is really, really important. Pure and simply because you know, to bring yourself out of the business, you can't be involved in any of the day-to-day operations, and you then have to start giving people accountability for not just individual tasks, projects, and not just projects, but entire departments in the business. So really, really important. I'll talk to you more about this and how you build a team and how you can build out this kind of infrastructure and accountability and empowerment of your team. So hope you found this useful. As always, this is quite a complex topic. I could talk about this for a lot longer, and I might start doing some interviews in the future where people can come on and ask Q&As with me while I run. God knows how I'm going to do that, and I have to have somebody to run with me, which I'm working on, don't worry. But any questions, just drop me a comment. My guarantee is I'll respond to every single one of them. If it's a bigger, broader topic, I'll still respond, but I'll do a larger vlog episode and tag you in, so that you find it useful. And if you think this is good value for somebody, please share, tag them in. Or if you think it's just good value, just give it a like. It will give you a bit of extra reach. Always appreciated. If you're on a different channel, please subscribe or follow me. And on the flip side, if it's not for you, then unfollow or unfriend me, and I won't be clustering up your feeds. Please note, I do a different topic on each day of the week, so maybe you just want to follow stuff on a certain day. If that's the case, unfriend and unfollow me. Make sure you join my Facebook group where all of my episodes are categorised and catalogued by subject, so you can go through and find that resource and use it on an ad hoc basis. So that's pretty much it for me. As always, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow.